Check. Microphone check. What's going on, people? Welcome back for another edition of Saturday Night Live, little RC After Dark. Let me slide into the comments here a second and pull these up, and then we'll get ourselves wheels up off the ground. Of course, my mouse wants to keep giving me problems. Oh, we brought Nitro Nick back. What's going on, Nitro Nick? What is going on, Matt Thompson? How are we? All right, boys, ladies, gentlemen, let's officially get this plane in the air. So, that is the word from the control tower is telling me the gates are officially closed. This is flight number 826. This is your captain speaking. And on behalf of the entire crew, let me welcome you aboard. We have a special co-pilot, my good friend, Craig from one half of Size Matters, is joining us tonight to help me pilot this big ship as we get to know one of them guys in the RC industry doing things for all the right reasons. One of those beacons in the RC world that you want to follow and get to know. Bobby Mack. He has been here before. He jumped in one night. If you guys remember the Brian Parker episode, he jumped in here real quick in a roulette last minute save. We thank him for that. And as promised, I told him, Bobby, we're going to get you back here front and center and put some time and attention on you the right way. Before we get going, let me remind you, Nick, Matt, everybody else in the chat room right now, like, comment, and share. It's what helps the page grow. Honestly, it's what fakes that algorithm out. Comment. The show is here for you guys. If you have questions for Bobby or Size Matters, throw them up here. We'll keep an eye on them. We will get to them and throw them up on the screen as we go through the evening. But that is what will help us grow. If you smash that subscribe button and hit the bell, it's all we can ask for, people. So, let me throw up our intro video, and then when we come back from the intro video, we will have our good friend Craig from Size Matters here with us. So,
loaded and ready to taxi.
209er, taxi to runway 19er. Flight 209er, you are cleared for takeoff.
boom! Whoa, hang on 1 second. Let me fix that, Craig. I tried to be slick and have you all squared away. That's a little bit better. There we go.
There you go.
I was trying to have that done beforehand to be all smooth, but I screwed it up.
I thought I was going to be the untrained co-pilot tonight, but it looks like the pilot flying is having technical difficulties. I'm going to have
I need you. There is a reason I stress so much on a co-pilot. This cannot be done by myself. But I have an experienced co-pilot with me tonight, people. You will recognize this man. I stole him. I borrowed and stole him and locked away the key. I took him from Monday Night Mashup. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know, this is the man, the one half, Craig. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Just kind of plugging away, doing the daily grind, and enjoying RC when we can. You know, me and John both are family first and RC later, but we try to keep RC at that high level, and it is a extremely important part of our lives, just like it is yours. It is part of, I feel like, our being and our culture and who we are as people, especially over the last couple of years. It's really, really been ingrained in us. And I think that's important for other people to realize in the community is RC will always be here, and to enjoy family. Kids grow up fast, man. I got mine upstairs, and life goes by fast, as we both know. And man, how have you been? Because everything here is glorious. Everything's great. I cannot complain. Everything's fantastic, man.
Before we go too far down this rabbit hole, we do know that you are here on the anniversary of a very sad day. It was actually 1 year ago today that you reminded me that we were together in the morning, and we got the very sad phone call about the loss of your grandmother. But what was neat about your grandmother was what a cheerleader she was in your corner for Size Matters. Very special. It's so great to have family like that. I have an aunt, parents, very supportive of what we're doing. So I connected to that, and we are dedicating this show to your grandmother as a memorial to her, and that this is going to be a happy distraction for you. We hope this turns out to be a happy distraction for you tonight, Craig. And we thank you for helping the co-pilot as we get to know Bobby Mack. But you asked me how things are going, Craig. It's going well. Busy is the easiest way. Busy is good. We wear multiple hats during the day. I tend to wear 7-8 hats in a day, and it's hard to juggle them, and they easily get confused and don't know what hat I'm wearing half the time. But listen, it's a passion. I'm happy. This is a passion. I do it because I love it. And what I connected with you when we first met, Craig, was the message that Size Matters had, and this message of positivity and really wanting to help grow small business and help just engage and be a part of the community and let the RC community grow. But no pressure as you're having fun, period. You know, if somebody doesn't like what you're doing, you never had a gun to their head and said, follow along. This is about, if you enjoy what we're doing and you want to be a part of it, come along. There's plenty of room for all of you. And it's important to continue to be cheerleaders for the people next to you on your right and your left, and cheer them on with their accomplishments that they do, and not be jealous. Jealousy is an ugly fragrance on people, and it really taints the hobby.
The way I've always looked at it as is I'm John's 15 feet away from me. He's working
always.
He pretty much lives here. He's like a resident of the Size Matters household. But the way we look at it is small business, large business, whatever in the RC community. Okay, they all feed off of each other, and we are consumers, right? At every level. I don't care if you're an influencer, if you're a driver for somebody, or you are just an RC enthusiast just getting into it. At every level, we are consumers, okay? And we all fall in love with certain brands. I don't care what brand it is. I don't get into the wars of tires or servos or any of this. I believe in certain brands. That does not mean that the brand that you support is wrong. We are all in this community together. I can give you my opinion and what I believe in. And these are the brands that I support because these are the brands that I've used and I have experience with them, from their product to their customer service to maybe their team drivers, all the way up the chain. I know these brands inside and out. I know I can recommend them. I will not recommend a company that I don't have experience with, because who am I to judge and say, hey, this company is great, and I don't know anything. I want to learn, and I want to grow, and I want to learn as much as I can about every company possible and how their inner workings are, what their customer service is like. Because as you know, as a business owner, Mike, customer service is paramount. You could have the best product in the world and you don't follow up on it. It's lost in the sauce. So it's very important for us. So that's really where we come from in trying to build the community, is learning who we want to get behind and who we support. Is that the only people we support? No, but these are the people we have relationships with and who we've worked with. And, since getting in the hobby, just because you buy brand A and you haven't used brand B, that doesn't mean brand B is no good. It's just there's a bunch of options. Test them all. Have fun. Support everybody in the RC community and learn for yourself what works for you and your truck. It doesn't matter how much it costs, where it comes from. Learn what works for you. As long as you're enjoying the hobby, that's all that matters. Is that we're enjoying it together.
No, and I told you from day one. I told you that tire and servo war gets ugly, and Mother Nature is not Mother Nature. Social media is a finicky bitch, and she will eat you alive. And some of the nonsense and drama that we see gets stirred up over a servo and a tire. Sometimes it's just
the fact that there's any drama in a hobby is ridiculous.
Yeah,
in my opinion, we're all here as a hobby.
For a little stress relief. Where most of us are coming here to relax at the end of a crappy week. Please, I want to come here and be happy. Yeah. Well, I think that is a great segue, Craig, to bring on Bobby. Let's make some room for Bobby Mack, because this is a guy not caught up in the drama, not caught up in the nonsense, just really showing you how to have some fun and really trying to enjoy what he does for all the right reasons. So let me make some room for Mr. Bobby Mack. And to do that, sometimes I wish I had a way to let the co-pilot help me with these controls, but that really wouldn't work, because I couldn't sit here and teach you how to operate all this.
You don't have control of many buttons.
You're right. All right, so let's do this. Bobby, get yourself presentable, and we're going to slide you onto the screen.
There he is.
There he is. Bobby, stand by 1 second. I'm going to make you center stage.
Oh, man, you might lose some viewers.
The eye candy is here. Bobby, let's do this the right way. We tried this once before, a couple months back. We're going to try one more time. Give us a formal introduction. Because Bobby, I don't know if you actually met my co-pilot here this evening. Did you guys ever bump into each other at USTE or Beat the Creek, maybe?
I didn't make Beat the Creek, and USTE, I didn't really get around a lot. I kind of hung out in the Scalar Fab tent, so.
We've been ever introduced.
Okay. Well, you got to hear the intro, Bobby, who Craig is. Craig, this is Bobby. Bobby, tell us who you are.
Just a normal guy. No, that's really it. Just a normal guy who really has a passion for the hobby.
That's what we love.
Didn't really, I wish I was part of that conversation about all of the drama and the wheels, the tires, the servos. Like, man, I just want to use.
You are a part of it. Continue. Give me your opinion on it, please.
I know.
What's your 2 cents on the drama in RC these days?
It's ridiculous.
Well said.
I've been doing before you could buy a rig, we had to put them together with TLTs or clodbusters and stuff like that. Like,
So what are you going back here? You're in the 90s at this point?
No, like early 2000s.
Okay.
So I got into RC in 2001. Like, I actually got into it. I had like the Radio Shack stuff growing up. My older brother actually had a couple of grasshoppers and stuff like that. So I had been around it, but I actually got into it in 2001, and then met up with a couple guys with the infamous Sanford Bridge, and it was just kind of like, man, this is super cool. I could build something like this, or I could have somebody build something like this. So to see where it was and to see where it's at now is incredible, but also to see where it was back then for, if you needed something, everybody jumped like, oh, I've got this. And you had 30 people running to go get something that you needed, to
Yep.
where now, at least in my opinion, certain areas is like, I don't want to talk to that guy. Like, you need something? Yeah, I don't have that. And it's like, man, like, I've given so much stuff away. It's mind numbing. And I still know that's the majority of the hobby, but the amount of drama just because you run servo
Sure.
A and not servo B, or you don't like this 2-letter abbreviated company, but you like this company. And it's just like, it's mind numbing. It's like, at the end of the day, yeah, these are very expensive toys, but that's what they are. They're toys. It's like, I just don't understand it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, it's a great input, and we really try to get that across more often. Is, guys, at the end of the day, we are playing with toy trucks, and sometimes it gets lost. And I understand it is a business. I as a business owner, I'm here to put food on the table for my family. But at the end of the day, I am a passionate RC enthusiast. I've gotten behind different outlets. As far as, my son was autistic at the time, I was very passionate about making theme builds. Used the hobby to be a bigger beacon and grow a message, or bring attention or awareness to certain causes. Really trying to find the right reason to do the hobby and enjoy it. Those are the people that we're looking for. But you're right. From the comp side, do you have a background in the comp world?
That's kind of where I came from, like the Sorka-based competition.
Oh, okay.
When
more.
Yeah, I mean, when I got into it, the rules were a little simpler, and it was it was friendly competition, and
Okay.
you won to there was winners and there was losers, as opposed to now where there's winners and then there's winners, because everybody's got to have a participation trophy.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. I meet you in person.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some great conversation.
Oh, I bet. Trust me, I host, not so much anymore, but I have hosted and help hosted a metric load of events. And just like I said, just to see just all the nitpicking and like the drama basically associated with it, it's just like, man, like it almost takes the fun out of it, believe it or not. That's the worst.
So USTE put up a question here, Bobby. How long were you affiliated with Sorka?
I was actually on the Sorka committee for, oh man, 3 years, I think.
Okay. When did you step away?
What was that?
When did you step away from Sorka?
Oh man.
Are we pre-COVID or?
Oh yeah. It was a while before COVID.
Okay.
Like, it was like, I want to say like 2010, 12 area. I honestly don't remember, because,
wow,
man.
So you do have some history baked into the comp and the Sorka scene. You got some longevity and history baked in there.
Yeah.
So you've seen a
I
lot
like
of different
yeah.
businesses, and the drama. I mean, it's been going on for a long time. I mean,
a very long time.
there's some, I kind of came into it at a weird time and didn't realize some of the nonsense that was happening
Well,
behind the scenes. And you almost, it was that tail I was chasing for the longest time. It was like, oh, I just want to be a team driver, or I want to get to know more. And the second I got a peek over that fence, I ended up in a cold shower crying. Like, I wish I wouldn't have seen this other side. Like, I just want to go back and be naive to it all and just not know anything.
and don't, I mean, I don't want people watching to get, especially if you're new into the community, don't think that this is what every comp is like or what the community is like. It's not.
Oh,
Good
yeah.
point.
But
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah.
But
Good point.
there are certain people, I can tell you from experience, the comp scene I got out of. I have comp builds. I don't bring them to comps. I bring them to go and test myself on certain terrain that I go to on my own. I am not interested in comping. I don't want to be part of that anymore. It just, the scene kind of, I guess, jaded me. And am I ever going to go back to it? Maybe one day. But right now, I enjoy just using my comp builds to go do my own thing. And I started getting to the scale aspect of it a lot. I enjoy that. And I mean, don't get it twisted. There's competition in the scale scene too, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's people that are like,
Yeah.
oh, I can't show you my build for USTE. For what?
Yeah.
For what?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Oh my God, you made the best build ever. Like, stop.
I mean,
There's
as the
passionate
Canadian
model
quoted-
builders out there, and they keep that stuff super exclusive.
as the Canadians quoted, I think it was, if you don't have oil on your dipstick,
right?
you go back to the
You're
drawing
not-
board.
Dude, seriously. I mean, I saw some really good stuff this last USTE. One of my buddies came up with this idea. His driver kind of looked like him a little bit, big belly, and he had a bag of Doritos, and we sat and mixed some paint to get the same color as Doritos, and it looked like the scale driver dipped his hand in the bag and had Dorito dust on his fingertips. I mean, that's the type of attention to detail that people are putting in to their scale trucks. Like that's the stuff I geek out and get excited about. That is why I'm so excited about this hobby, is that geeky scale nerdy stuff.
And I love that, and I fell in love with that. My issue is at least for me personally, because I guess I don't care. I don't keep any secrets. I want the hobby to grow. So if I did something like that, I'm going to tell everybody how I did it. You asked me a question, this is how I did it. The hobby will grow if we all keep secrets. Like, winning an award at an event is more important for you than helping the hobby grow? Nah.
Collect your trophies. Yeah. There's an alpha male out there around every corner.
I'm over the trophy thing. Like I was
okay.
Really
no sprinkles for you.
Yeah, I was really competitive in like the comp scene and stuff like that. Podiums here, podiums there. Tweaking builds and whatnot. And then it just kind of got, there was some drama in the hobby that surrounded our group of guys, which was like the original Florida guys, the Florida Scale Trail Runners. And it just
is that where you're from, Bobby? Are you from Florida? That was a question I wanted to figure out.
Yep.
I'm jealous. I'll switch with you.
I mean, where are you at?
Jersey.
Oh, dirty Jersey.
No, I'm good.
Please, please. I'll switch. I swear. I'll keep all my RC trucks.
So
I keep looking over because I got the YouTube up on my TV, so I keep looking at the chat over there. So
okay, perfect. That's smart
over there as well. So
yeah.
Okay.
Nope. Keep an eye on that. Tyrone Dunkley is now here. We got USTE throwing jabs at you. Shots are fired at you, Bobby. These guys have a bullseye on you.
Not the first time I've been in that crosshair. Going
They're
back to
loving
that
this.
drama of way back when.
Wait till 2025. USTE will be coming back strong. I cannot wait. Uh, you know, with USTE taking a year off, Bobby, so they're threw the world a curveball with this 2024 pause. That's scary to me because, good Lord, what will people be able to build with an extra year?
Oh,
I've seen, right?
yeah. I mean, you see
I'm
what they do in
scared.
a year.
I know. I'm a little nervous. I've seen what they've done in a year. You give them that extra time. I'm hoping that's what's going to happen for 2025. The people rolling into USTE are going to have some real good eye candy for us to look at, because it's kind of crazy to take that extra timeline.
I'm going to say about 10% of the builders that are on that field are going
Yep.
to take that extra year as an advantage. And I challenge the other 90% to take advantage of it and make it a great extra year. Go build trucks, ask questions, learn from these people. And I want to see that field loaded with the best scale rigs I've ever seen.
Use this time to your advantage and push yourself a little bit further than what you thought was your comfort zone. You know, I have one thing I'm geeking out on. A little sidebar here, real quick. On Instagram, I've been getting these advertisements that pop up for something called Inventor. Has any of you guys gotten this Instagram advertisement?
I have not.
So what it is, you join up this Inventor Club. So every month they will mail you a package, and it is designed for you to work along with them. So it's a kind of DIY, train at home kind of class. So they'll send you all the components for you to wire up one of those onboard screens. If you remember, Scale Built was doing those like super scale dashboards with the screens. One of the things that this Inventor is doing is working with those screens and literally teaching you the programming so that you can make your own screen. Like the commercial was for a smiley face, like a stick figure smiley face that turns a frown into a smile. But the guy wrote the code to make that thing come to life. Like, I would love to come up with a really rad dashboard and try and push myself electronically to do something like that, for example.
I could tell you that intrigues me and it sounds fantastic, but I don't think I have the bandwidth to successfully accomplish what is at hand.
I'm with you. When it comes, we're talking about writing code on a computer, like. But again, I like where you came, Craig, with that note that you had said about learning every day. This is about trying to better ourselves and teach ourselves. You know, I bought an airbrush gun. I never airbrushed anything growing up, but I did it in this hobby. 3D printing. I've been pushing myself and learning new things, hydro dipping and welding. I'd still like to be a better brazier. Like the whole idea is to find something, grow, and learn something new. For example, Bobby, do you have a 3D printer?
I do not. I want to get one, but I don't know. I just haven't pulled the trigger. I did look up the one that you just got, and I'm pretty intrigued. So,
and Craig came from the same family as I do with this Creality brand, and the new one that I got is the K1, they call it, the Creality K1. It's lightning fast. I'm literally printing something that would have taken 25 hours in like 2 hours time. And you're not going to print everything like that speed. I get it. It's kind of a gimmick. You're not doing everything lightning fast, but it's faster in general. It's not your normal Creality, and And today, Bobby, they have made printers, and Craig can attest to this, that they basically made them plug and play. They are. You do need a
Yeah.
computer. And so many people forget the computer side of it, like thinking, I'm going to go out and get a 3D printer and everything is great. Well, no, you better have
Yeah.
yourself a pretty badass computer because you will crash it. Trust me, when it goes to uh, slice it from a STL to a G code, it will crash your computer if it doesn't have the bandwidth, as Craig would say.
Yep.
So you better have a computer. But beyond that, Craig, wouldn't you agree with me? They made these a lot. They're for a beginner, basically.
Absolutely. And all the way up to, you have the, the Bamboos, you have the Carryall, all these new printers. They're
hyper speed.
totally different. Coming from the Carryall Ender 3, for those that are watching that maybe can't pull the trigger on a higher end 3D printer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with starting at a base printer and getting something like a Carryall Ender, V3 or V2.
And it's not a large investment right now.
No,
I mean, you're $150, and on the high end,
you're sub $200. And I recently learned I was using Ultimaker Cura as my software, and you were talking about speed. I recently got told by my good friend Anthony that I should be using Orca Slicer, and I downloaded that program. I started using that, and just the settings in that slicer program, working with the Ender 3, totally changed my print quality and my speed. So if something was going to take 14 hours, this slicer, I'm getting better quality and it's taking 10.
Nice.
Settings. So don't be scared to get into a entry level
starter. Yeah.
3D. Especially if you're not printing a lot and you're not printing volume, you don't need those high speed printers. There's nothing wrong with going with a lower end printer. You can get the quality out of it.
And Craig, you're right, because we're not doing this for production. Like, if you're printing for yourself, who the hell cares if it takes 24 hours to print? Let it sit out there. And the upside of a hyperspeed printer is there is less risk of failure. Meaning, instead of out there for 24 hours banging away, if you can do it in less time, there is a less risk of failure.
I mean, 3D printing is a whole nother show we could do, because I mean, there's in the plates that you use, the different,
there's a rabbit hole
brands of
that's a fact.
ABS. It's just there's so much that goes into it. But don't be scared to dive into it. It is something that could really, really pay off in the long run, especially with people like Knights Customs making great files that you can just pretty much download and upload into the software and print. They're extremely easy files to use. Working into Element, Knights Customs works extremely close with Element.
Yep.
Yes, I'm going to use this as a segue, Craig. Go ahead.
Yeah, my Night Runner, my Trail Runner, I printed all the Knights Customs files for it, and they came out great. There was a little bit of trial and error because, as you know, Mike, different shaped parts, you have to print on different planes. But once you get all the kinks worked out, and it's not hard to get worked out. If you're a beginner, it's not hard. Don't be scared. You will get it to print the way you want. And the
Knights,
the files are great.
On Facebook, the Knights fans page is very helpful.
Yes.
James Knight is one of those business owners that you refer to, Craig, that is very customer service oriented. He will answer your questions. You send him a message, he responds. He'll give you those little tips and tricks based on the printer that you have, orientation of how to place it on your bed. Because yes, his prints are basically set up for a resin printer with the level of detail that you can get in them. They are if you're going to jump into 3D printing, Bobby, and just go right after a Knights Customs file, I wouldn't recommend that. I would start out printing a little bit, get a few prints under your belt and understand, slicer settings and all that kind of stuff. But Craig set us up very well. He kind of teed this up like a perfect co-pilot for that little beast you got right over your shoulder there, Bobby. That flashy 80s green. Yes, she's screaming. That color really caught some attention of people. No, I mean, will go back to the very beginning and tell you, I think the Bushido was one of those trucks that broke the internet, really brought some attention over to Element with this short wheelbase. So all they really did here, if I'm not mistaken, was change the body, correct?
Just the color.
Is there just the color? Yeah. So they went from their traditional, that off bone white, which there was nothing wrong with that because they threw a really cool decal sheet at that bone white one. But I know Fishing Bill, we're going to bring him. Oh, here you go. Look at that. So they just changed some of the colors up on it. Yeah, what a great sticker sheet. If that slash does not scream 80s, nothing does.
Yeah, that's a fact.
The colors are a little off on my monitor. Like, what color was that? An orangish color or?
Yeah, it's like a almost like a red orange.
A red orange. Okay.
Like a red kind of fade to orange. So.
Okay. Now, perfect on that green.
Yeah. And then also, because Vanquish likes to do unicorn things, I don't really know what I'm going to do with these yet, but I think they look good.
Absolutely. Abso-stinking-lutely. That's kind of, you know what? Why not?
That purple would not look bad with that orange. It's kind of got a little bit of a Joker theme to it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Now, while Mike's away, I'll
all right, real quick. I'm a little tight here, but so Fishing Bill painted this Bushido body for me, but it's got the red Vanquish wheels on there, and I was in that same boat as you. I kind of had this off-color wheel. I didn't think the red was going to go, but it really.
No, it looks good on that rig. I've seen the.
It tied together really nice. So here's a Knights file that I just printed for, and this is one of the upsides. I know, Craig, that you have your Ender dialed in way more than I had my Ender 3s working. I had trouble doing a big print like this on my Ender 3s. Now with the K1.
Forget it right now.
The K1 has been knocking this out. So this is for the Bushido. This is one of those Knights files. So this is his snorkel with the grill, and then
yeah,
I have
if you're still in here, I'm gonna need to get some of those files. But Pickled Fin RC is my go-to guy for 3D printing. He's actually got a rig of mine now that he's been going through and printing up some stuff for. I'm about to hit him up again, and I need some Utron stuff and some Bushido stuff.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's the other way to handle this, is simply have a buddy that can help you print.
Dude, man.
I don't like printing for people. I've often put my foot down many times and just simply say no, only because I always get grief. Like, oh, I don't want to sand it. I don't want to paint it, critiquing it. And it's like, you know what? I just rather not stress over upsetting someone. So I just don't even deal with it. I print for myself, and I'm happy with that. It's why my hands always have paint under the fingernails. I've got Bondo everywhere. I'm always sanding and painting parts.
There are 4 people in my life that I will print for. Anybody else that messages me? No. And he's one. Has a
Johnny.
hard time getting parts from me.
Yeah, that's the same way with Pickled Finn. Zach, he's very. There's a close group of guys that he'll print for because he knows it's just like, I mean, it could go wrong or something. You know, the guys that
Exactly, it takes time. Yes, and people don't realize with the Knights file package. If you're saying to Pickle Finn, hey, print me the Utron package, you don't realize he just burnt through an entire roll of filament to pull that off. Like, you know, I'm literally going through almost a spool of filament every other day right now. I'm burning through it that fast. Because those Knights files are big. Here we go. There we go. Yeah. That interior is a monster.
To here, I mean, I could this comes as one file, or it comes as 3 separate pieces, right?
Yes.
So this interior for the Night Runner, it's a big file, right? And
yeah.
Could I fit it on my printer? Yes, absolutely. I could put it on an angle and I could print it all at once, and it would take 42 hours. Right?
A week later.
What I do is...
He's not exaggerating.
Put them in 3 pieces, and realistically, at the end of the print, maybe it took 30 hours, but that was for 3 separate pieces. And then I just have to glue them together, and I'm good. You know, as long as you use a quality glue and you do it properly, you line it up good, the parts are going to align perfectly. Like, you would never know. If you look in the interior of that truck, you would never know that was 3 separate pieces. It looks like one piece. Because Knights has done it properly, where those parts are sliced perfect. And you can slice them yourself. I mean, if you get a big file and you want to cut it yourself, you can. But the files are perfect, and they're cut perfectly. And that is a big file. And if somebody asked me to make that for them, absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
It's a lot of time.
No.
The only thing you want to remember, and I'm sure Pickle Finn probably does this for you, is always remember the designer. So he will provide that service for you to print the file. Just always remember to stop back over, hit up My Mini Factory, and make sure you tip or purchase the file. Like any good printer that is printing for somebody, you always remember to tip the designer. I mean, we did a whole show on this with Scale Wrap one time. Like, their design time is valuable. And, you know, just because, and that's the one thing that James Knight had to deal with, was when he went to My Mini Factory instead of Shapeways, was how to protect his files in that sharing with everybody. And I'm sure it does happen. I'm sure everybody slides them a file here and there, and you're never going to stop it. But it's for good people, upstanding people like us, to remember good etiquette and remember, you know, we're not getting over on James by, you know, shipping, you know, stealing the 1999 away from the guy. We're not hurting him. You know, you're only hurting yourself. No, you know, you gotta live with it.
You know, the prices that he puts out for those files,
very reasonable,
expensive for what you are getting, and even if you factor in the price of the file and the PLA, I'm not going to count because you're not working. It's
correct.
It's you can print this while you're at work making money. So print time, I don't care what you say, print time does not cost money. So realistically, at the end of the day, the quality that you're getting and the amount of detail that you're going to add to these rigs,
it's worth it. It's
absolutely worth it. And if you're new to 3D printing, it's a great learning curve. It really, you know, printing a Knights Customs file, while it's not hard to get it perfect and to get them to print right and the way that you want them, especially strength-wise, there's a little bit of a learning curve there. And
absolutely,
it is absolutely worth the, you know, $14 to $25 investment that you're going to make in getting those files. And the, you know, $25, it's all the files for that truck. Like,
which is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
dirt cheap.
Yeah,
and the other cool thing, if you go and you purchase that Utron package like early, say say they drop Utron and James gets the files up, that day, he will continue to add files, prints to that package, and they get updated. Even if you bought it early, you can go back later and the file gets revised. So don't feel like you went in too soon and you're going to get gypped. No, he uploads them and you have access to them at any point. So I think that's really cool. I love, because he's not going to be able to get every file design done right out of the gate. Yeah. So sometimes he continues to add to them. So you're going to change the look of the Bushido 100%. I highly encourage you to do the drop bed. That would be a must-have for that Bushido. That drop bed changes the truck dramatically with the amount of scale accessories you can get in the back of it. Plus, if we want to talk about the Utron for a second, I think that truck in particular, the Knights Customs files changes it dramatically. It is a night and day difference. Because sometimes I struggle to tell which is the front or the rear with that thing. I'm like, you look at it a little cross-eyed sometimes, like, what the hell is this? But I'm telling you, once you add his files to it, it changes it dramatically. And I don't think you're going to say the same thing about the Night Runner. You can go through all of his file packages, and we can have this debate and say the same thing. I get it. But I really think the Utron needed the Knights Customs file package.
I mean, so did the Bushido, in my opinion. And this is just my opinion. When the Bushido first came out, I was not impressed by it. And I love the short wheelbase. I love the idea.
Yes.
But it was very plain to me. I'm a huge Element fan, as you can tell. I have Element stuff everywhere.
But the files changed it.
The files definitely changed the truck, and it makes it more
inner fenders and all of it. Yeah,
it totally changes the truck. And Element being Element, coming out with this new color. The new color is awesome. And I still feel that it needs those files though. And that's just my opinion.
I agree with that 100%.
That little extra, and it gives everybody a chance to make it their own. And
add some or all. You add what you want, and that's what makes it your own. I think that's a great idea.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did push the envelope a little bit. I did start doing the Knights files with his light kit. This was one of his functional light bars that you can add your own. I went out and bought the clear lenses. I've never done one of his light bars before, but they're actually pretty cool. And what's cool about doing the functional one is you can do the cover in one color and the back in another.
That's cool.
There's all kinds of options. I printed the non-functional one also. It's a solid color. Of course, with a little bit of paint, we can get crazy. So, that being said, with a little bit of paint, we're going to bring Fishing Bill in. And wait, Bobby, let's we can't go too much farther here without recognizing Johnny Boy. The full half, the full circle is here. The complete package.
I've been here the whole time. I just was doing some stuff on the side, just painting that motor, getting it ready so I can assemble it tomorrow. And
okay.
So.
Well, it's only fitting, and it feels right seeing the Size Matter package together. It goes peanut butter and jelly.
Size matters and package goes together, right? Yep. And I just want to remind you, you said that.
I did.
Also, I just want to let you know, as somebody's been sitting on the sideline and listening, every single segue tonight has been knocked out of the park. And I know it's unintentional. I know there is
no script, but they've been teed up perfectly.
Perfect. So
I know.
Who you got next?
We're going to bring Fishing Bill in here, but I did want to comment on Bobby's shirt. I just noticed you're rocking the Element apparel, and you do on apparel, we have the Scalar Fab shirt hanging up behind you.
Yes.
So
One of very few pink ones.
yes. Was that for breast cancer, or was that from Casey's early RC girl diva days?
Or was it you just wore it a lot?
I'm not sure, honestly. I know they went kind of a different route with their shirts now, which they're all still awesome. But this is kind of like the last of the batch that they had actually made.
Oh.
And I was like, "You have a pink one left?" Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Wow,
just to have.
nice.
So.
Smart.
No, that's a prize piece. It looks good in your backdrop. But yeah, Casey's been a diva in the RC scene for a long time. I mean, with your history baked into this hobby, Scalar Fab's been around the block for a while.
They actually came the first time they sold something was at one of my events that I'd hosted here in Florida.
No kidding.
I think it was 2010, I think. Yeah, they came up, and I've told them this story too. They came up, and she handed me a flyer, and she's like, "Hey, I'm Casey, and my husband's Troy, and we build bumpers and roof racks and stuff like that." And I'd been in the hobby for a little bit, and I'd seen companies come and go, and I'm just like, "Yeah, sure, set up, okay, whatever." And I walked over to the guy that was helping me host, and I'm like, "There's another fabricator out here, whatever." He's like, "Oh, we'll see how they do this go around," because we'd seen them come and go, and then they sold a couple things, and and just kind of exploded from there. And I think it was about 3 years ago I told Troy and Casey that story, and they're like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." I was like, I was a naysayer. I didn't think you guys were gonna make it because I'd seen people come and go. And
seriously,
I can't believe how amazing you guys do. And then I stood behind them the whole time, and then the same thing with me. They supported me since that day, basically. And then we have basically kind of a media partnership with them as well. So
yeah,
which is awesome. Troy and Casey are phenomenal people.
Now, Casey is a marketing genius when it comes to social media. She is a leader in the RC industry when it comes to marketing.
I don't want to take away from Scalar Fab at all, because
go ahead.
I just want to say that I think these two bodies would look excellent in an Element shirt if Element's watching. I just want to say.
I mean, we might be able to work something out.
I have size matter shirts.
We trade patches, we trade hats, we trade stickers. Why not? We can start doing a shirt barter. I like it.
My wife is for sale.
Did you say wife?
No. I would never say that. What?
Oh, I thought you said my wife is for sale.
I never say. Mike, you're putting words in my mouth. I didn't say that. She's probably watching right now. I can't.
He absolutely said my wife is for sale.
No,
I heard it. I'm putting in the first bid.
No return.
No returns. All right. Let's bring Fishing Bill on. He's been patiently waiting over there. Let's check in with what Bill's doing, and then Craig, we're going to put Bobby in the hot seat for a minute, and we're going to throw a game of this and that at him.
Perfect.
So let me make sure. I'm going to look in the green room real quick on Fishing Bill and make sure he's presentable. I don't want to catch him here in a unforgiving moment.
Before you bring Bill in, I just real quick want to say I have to go. So thank you. It was a pleasure. I'm glad I was here for this and got to say hi and hang out for a little bit. So
we'll see you Monday night.
See you guys Monday night. Be safe. Enjoy.
Be good.
Later,
all right. Going to add Bill over there in the bottom right-hand corner. Mr. Fishing Bill. Look at you over there taping off a body. What you working on, Bill?
I am working on a creek cab.
Ooh.
This is for the Georgia Rock Zombies. They're having their big crawl in October, and I am donating a body for them to give away.
Is that for their haul and crawl? Is that
For the haul and crawl, exactly. Yeah, Mr. Scott Bray got a hold of me, and I said, sure, I'd love to do one for you guys.
So, real
I
quick,
love it.
I just want to say, because Bill, over the last couple of years, we've built a really good relationship, and the amount of stuff that you do for the hobby is unbelievable, and I cannot thank you enough. And I'm sure the community can't help you enough, because you are just constantly slinging paint, as you would say, and a lot of it is on your dime and for the community, and I really appreciate it.
You know, I've had some unfortunate things in my life that have happened, and I know everybody needs a hand up every once in a while, so I have no issue helping out when I can, to be honest with you. You know, it's just something that I do. I come from a background of sports and riding motorcycles. That's what we did. We did charity every weekend. And this is kind of my way of giving back to something. You know, the hobby really helped me through some rough times, and I'd like to help it back out.
And I love that. And I did see that picture of you on a Harley the other day that you posted. And but that's bringing back some memories.
So I do miss riding, but loved it. The wife loved it. But sometimes life just changes.
It does. It does. Every day, man. You never know what life's going to hand you. It depends on how you handle life is how I look at it.
You know, well, you guys know what we went through, and the way I've always said it, some things never get easier, but they get easier to manage.
Yes, sir.
But my condolences to you, first of all. I didn't know about that, but I saw the post today, so I know it's a sad day for you, but kudos to you to being on here and being positive.
I'm with my RC family, man.
Yep.
Mike was there while it happened, and I tell you what, man, there's nothing like the RC family. They were there to pick me up and cheer me up, and even today just made the day a lot easier for me, and I cannot express my thanks enough to the community.
That's awesome. That's what it's about, man. Like I said, I come from a background of brotherhood, and brotherhood is what it's about.
That's it, man, and that's how it has to be. I hope that with what we're all doing here tonight is a good example.
No, exactly.
It's Saturday night talking RC. Like, it doesn't get any better than this.
No, it does not.
I got one that Craig may like too. This one I'm actually still finishing up today, but this is the Proline Jeep body.
Nice.
So you just sending that over?
I like that.
You know, I was going to send this over as soon as I got that body to paint for you.
Oh, that one. I think the postman lost it. I gotta check the tracking number. I don't know.
I didn't get that tracking number either.
I'm the worst. We got to get you one. I keep saying I'm going to get you one, and I stink.
Well, you don't get one of these then, Greg.
All right, let's get this back on track here, fellas.
We're on.
What is the next big thing in dollhouse trucking? That is a question from USTE. What is the next big thing in dollhouse trucking? I'm going to throw my little bit in here real quick. Has anybody been on Instagram to see Not Your Mother's Dollhouse? Do you know what I'm talking about, Craig? Please tell me you know this.
Yes. Not Your Mom's Dollhouse. She is a extremely nice woman. We've gotten a couple things from her.
That is my nomination for the next big thing in dollhouse trucking. This chick has pushed the envelope with risque scale accessories. These are not your typical... Dude, she has little dollar bills, like, twisted up on a plate with cocaine and, like... and that was probably a bad example to give right out of the gate because she does a lot of cool stuff, but it's risque kind of stuff.
And I would like to say that is my issue is we like to try to stay family friendly. So I wouldn't say that's the next big thing. in.
No, I'm joking, but
No.
she does deserve a nod, but
Oh, no.
yes, and it does not fit with you USTE lifestyle with the family.
Absolutely, and her designs are one-off, one of a kind. She's coming up with these designs on her own. It is absolutely fantastic. I love what she's doing.
It's not for your kids.
It's definitely not.
Yeah, but you guys got to admit how cool it would be to have a passenger. You know how they make the drivers that actually move with the truck? Have the passenger doing this with the dollar bill.
Nice,
come on.
Making it rain. I love it.
I think the next big thing for us as RC enthusiasts, if you don't mind me giving my 2 cents, I think the next thing for us to strive for is working motors and movement in under the hood,
like an FMS with the belts that spin.
Just maybe a little bit further. I think that like we were talking about earlier, the oil on the dipstick. A actual functional scale motor, I think is something that we can all strive for, and it's doable.
I'm telling you, RTR, FMS, out of the box, their belts spin, the motor looks like it's working. The fan's spinning, the belts are going. I mean, it looks like it's running.
I just think maybe a more scale motor.
Okay.
No knock to FMS. It's great that they have those things happening, but it's not the most scale motor compartment in the world. So I would like to see a super scale motor have all those functioning components in a 1/10 scale rig, as scale as you can get it. I think is something for us to push forward for and do.
You want an actual motor, then, is what you're saying?
As close as
with the little
They make actual motors, but boy,
they do. They're not cheap.
Yes.
You're paying for it.
And that's where I think it varies. Is there's a yin and yang, if you would. Those motors, they look great, but first of all, they're independent, so they're fuel driven, right? They're not run on a battery. I want something that's run on a battery that I can just change the battery out. But I want that motor's scale realism in an electric truck. That's what I think people should be striving for, is that level of authenticity, but electric.
With the way the 3D printers are now, I mean, that's probably not that far-fetched of an idea.
No,
seriously, you see what JE Designs does with his motors. I mean, those motors that he makes are ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not functional like what Craig's looking for here, but they do look ridiculously scale.
I'm not saying functional. I'm just saying next level.
Level. Yep.
I'm in 10 years into the future. I'm talking. About next year at US or.
I like what RC 4-wheel drive did with their motor when they had that aluminum casing, the one they put in the one TF2 with the $800 Blazer edition. It was on the right track. It was very.
If you took that motor, you put a working fan blade on, belts, puppies that move.
That's what you're getting down that rabbit. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned that. Let me grab something real quick here.
Uh-oh. We get something secret.
Mr. Fancy Pants has something.
Well, I have an original.
Oh my. Wow.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know if y'all know what this is, but this is a Fracture V8 on an actual Fracture FJ40 frame. So, this is, and it's a sub 500 serial number. So,
wow.
Yeah.
But this
that's cool.
Yeah, again, it's not functional, but I mean,
right.
This is obviously the fan spins and whatnot, but
right. You're getting there.
I understand what he's saying completely. Like, if you could take this and make it to where
give it that
functionality of
USTE touch. Yes, where's one of those
Exactly, yeah,
creative
yeah.
dollhouse guys that takes it to the next level, puts the oil in the dipstick, and takes this thing
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Somebody like Blake from Metal Masher, like what he was doing with those metal bodies, when you go in, kind of like what Elma did with the scratch and weather bodies. But I mean, when you start to see these body panels giving you some feedback of when you hit a rock and graze along a tree or something, and you start denting your body, like that's some super scale realism. Like
Yeah.
you're getting that feedback.
We're,
I like what Blake does with
we're-
his body.
Yeah.
as a RC community and you know, the whole hobby as a whole, we're on the brink of being on that level, you know, with what Metal Masher is doing, what RC 4-wheel drive is doing, and what these, you know, 3D print companies are doing. You know, servos are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, we can make nano servos now, you know, that are
Oh yeah.
here. We're getting very close to where we can mash all these things together and make something crazy. We're almost there to where, like, my mind's working and I'm like, holy crap, we're almost to where, like, in my mind I can make this work. We're not there yet, but I would say in the next few years you're gonna see some great stuff. Maybe not RTR, because we all have to remember RTR. I mean, it costs these companies a lot of money to put something like that out, RTR. But I could see aftermarket companies really coming out with some crazy stuff in the next
So,
that we're going to be excited about.
have any of you guys seen the FJ45 in person from FMS yet?
Yes.
The new one? This is an actual functional door handle with a latch. Like, you have to turn the handle to unlock the door and open it. It literally locks back in place. So you turn. I mean, that's and the window crank turns. The window handle is actually spinning. It's not like an injection molded panel fixed in there. Now the window's not cranking up and down, obviously, but that's what Craig wants next: is make that window crank up and down.
Yes.
Make those windshield wipers work. I mean, that 1 year at Motorama Power Shift, Jonathan Baskins came to Motorama that year and had his windshield wipers working and squirting windshield washer fluid on his windows.
And windows going up and down is nothing new.
He won Best in Show.
I think it's the BRX 02.
Yeah.
The LC70, I think.
Yeah. The windows will go up and down. So that is nothing.
Wow.
That
okay.
Isn't
That's cool. That's cool.
But it's just, I mean, look at that. That's something 1 year ago.
Ultra scale. Yeah.
Years ago, we didn't have. That's ultra
no.
That is coming to fruition. And it is bringing this hobby to the next level. And I really think in the next, I would say 2 years, we're going to have trucks that, man, you take a picture of, you're not going to know whether it's an RC truck. I mean, we have a hard time now telling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think in 2
Bobby,
years.
do you think that's where you're at now? Or have you put the comp scene behind you and have you fully embraced this trail scale side of it? Or are you still...
I still like comping.
Okay.
I don't do it near as often. I mean, I used to, like, every weekend, you know, it was like, oh, I've got a comp this weekend. I've got some type of event this weekend. No, this hobby shop's having a comp this weekend. I've kind of slowed it down. One, obviously, you know, trying to do the family thing. You know, we want to start doing like vacations and stuff like that. So trying to do that as well. So kind of slowed down a little bit with that. As far as like the dollhouse type thing, Rob, I don't have the patience to do all of the necessary things needed, like the interiors or the keys in the ignition or the oil on the dipstick, stuff like that. I don't have the patience for that. And I don't have very big hands, but it's just like, I was like, all right, well, it's time to sell that thing. I'm done working on that. I'm more of like I want to go in the woods, like in nature, and hang out with my buddies and hit like just, you know, the trails to the woods or something like that. Don't get me wrong.
got
I
a
still
lot
love
of
the competition base of it.
Yep.
But I like the more laid back thing now.
You've got a lot of the Recon G6 in you, that type of overland adventure, walk with your buddies, and just
Yep.
no stress. Let's just put the miles on the trail and get out there and have some fun.
Back to the at its roots.
Yes. Now,
I
team
had a friend of
associated.
mine. I would say I had a
Go
friend
ahead.
of mine ask me. He's like, "What do you think we could do to make the hobby better?" And I like an
Get rid of
honest,
social
complete,
media?
honest answer is like, we could go back 10 years. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Remove some of the Facebook and Instagram nonsense out of it.
oh man,
Locally, I have some wicked talented builders that live in our general area. And these guys are doing some super radical stuff on the weekends. They're building and playing with those, what are they, 14 scale diorama, like construction vehicles and stuff. But the one thing that they all have in common is none of them use social media. Like, this stuff should be on an Instagram reel and the world should see what they're doing. But you know what? They have no time for it and they don't want any part of it. And I respect it.
All the time.
Yes! They're just having fun, and I'm like, I'm kind of jealous, guys. Like,
I just want
The only reason I have social media is for like RC, like obviously,
Yes.
Brand ambassador for Element,
Yep.
media partnership with Scalar Fab, Helios, Bauhaus, the RC Addict umbrella, Vader
Yes.
products, Spare Time Hobbies, all.
shout out to
Helios.
Ryan. Yep.
So it's one of those things, like, not that I have to, but I kind of have to have a social media.
Yeah.
So
And I'll tell you what, I don't know how you guys feel about it. When you're at an event and you meet somebody that does not have social media and they know who you are, that's pretty cool.
I'm like super humble when it comes to this stuff. Like this, like the interview and stuff like this. I am greatly humble. Like, this is appreciative. Like, I can't thank you enough, because while I'll go to an event and they're like, "Oh, you're Bobby Mack," and I'm like, "I don't really know who you are, but yeah, that's me. Cool, man. Nice to meet you." And it's like, I don't get that. Like, I don't understand that, because.
But that's your secret, though. That's what's helped you grow your name and who
But it's
you
really
are,
cool.
is that humble side of you. That's what makes you approachable, and that's why you're sitting front and center tonight. Is that kind of people should be taking a page from your playbook and learning from a little bit of how you conduct yourself, and you're growing and you're doing all the right things, but you're not making it stressful at the same time. You're kind of having fun, using your social media for all the right reasons, and it's exciting. Now, Team Associated turned my world upside down with this Datsun. Have you seen this thing yet?
That thing is like,
Bro.
I was into mini trucks like in middle school, because I'm like, oh, these are
Yep.
cool, and like, I never really got into like the Datsun thing, like the craze, but man, that thing looks.
They
so
slammed this
awesome.
thing, and it looks so good. And I'm only can hope that James Knight is listening, and I'm sure he's got something up his sleeve. But if he could put a functional driver in there and get that hand shifting, and oh man, I'd love to put a roll cage in there and just kind of geek out on this Datsun a little bit, because that's all I've had on my bucket list, was to like scale out a drift car. That's all I wanted to do. Like, that's on my bucket list right now. And this Datsun, I have all sights and lasers set on that thing right now.
It's coming. It has to.
He's already got the drift interior, I think.
Exactly. Yes, that the unicorn thing that he did.
Yeah.
And we seen Matty Kett from Scale Builders Guild implemented that interior into the Spare Time Hobby Beetle. Dude, I didn't even know, like, that's what I was looking for, is where we could take his functional driver and where else we could start putting it. And I love what Matty did by putting it in that Beetle. Because you mentioned RC Addict, so Spare Time Hobbies has been playing with the UTB 18 scale axial Capra looking thing. But what Spare Time Hobbies did to it with that Beetle, like, that blew my mind. I'm like, I gotta have that. Putting that Tamiya body on that thing changed that UTB next level.
Have you guys seen the backfire exhaust for those drift cars?
Yes.
That's
Well,
another thing. That's crazy.
They
the
are.
only one that I've seen was My Trick RC did one a while back where it was just kind of a flashing bulb hooked up to his light kit. Is that the one that you're referring to, or is there something else?
No, there's some of them that are actual little fire almost.
Yeah.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
so
it runs
the
off
one,
like a lighter.
this is a bolt. Whoa, that's so cool.
And they smoke and everything.
Yep,
Well,
I've seen
Craig-
guys put them on crawlers too.
Yes. Well, Craig, Mark from Crawler Cult was telling me, like, the drift scene up there, they have guys that are building not functional drift cars. These are, like, more showpieces, but they'll lift the trunk of their car and they'll have, like, a little TV screen where it looks like they're playing, like, an Xbox in the back of their drift car. I'm like, that's the drift car I want to build.
And, I mean, don't get it twisted. They're functional drift cars. Those.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are. Those guys.
They still, okay.
Oh, yeah.
They can drift. Well, most of the drift cars that I see people competing with are the super lightweight Lexan bodies, like what the no prep drag car guys are doing. These things are so modded now; they barely look like a real body anymore. Their noses are cut way down.
Hey,
Like-
easy on the Lexan bodies. You can make them look scale.
Yes,
My
you
no
can.
prep drag car has audio in it. Like, it has a sound system in my no prep drag car. This thing is
It's
not.
because it's slow.
It's not
and it can
built.
take the
It's
weight.
not built. No, it's not built for speed. It's made to do a wheelie off the line, and that's it. Yeah, I wish I had a functional parachute. Like, that would be cool for next evolution of a dollhouse. Is like, let
They
us
make
throw an
those as
actual
well.
chute. They do.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's. Oh God.
You got to have a car fast enough for that first, though, Mike.
Yeah.
He's got to put a battery in it first.
My no prep drag car is running on a brushed motor. It is
Oh.
slow as a snail. But
Well,
that
like
is
Jesse,
what
your
my no
sister?
prep is. My no prep has paddle tires and a demolition derby painted body on it, so it's just hanging on the shelf.
That's badass.
It is brushless though, so there is that.
Nice.
You got
Yeah,
Mike
we
beat.
had- brushless will get the party started. So that tees us up for a segue here into the next segment. Because that is actually a question on a little show we call This and That. So I'm going to pull up my Jeopardy music here, and we're going to put...
Do something good.
Yes, we're going to put the spotlight on Bobby here for a moment. Boom, let me adjust the volume, because that's going to be loud. Hang on.
I thought I had the segue perfect.
You did. I thought it was perfect.
I did not.
You why?
You didn't even pay attention to me. You just ignored me.
You teed it up with the brushless. I thought it was perfect.
No, I was going into the new edition to our...
Oh, snap.
But it's okay. Go to the next one.
Yeah, well, I need you to come back with that segue, because we will definitely compliment RC Car Action getting the cover page. Getting Element on the cover of RC Car Action? People, are there flying pigs, or like, is it gonna snow in hell? Like, it
Element's
stopped
doing
my
big
heart.
things.
I'm telling
Element
you,
is doing big things.
I love it.
I just wanted to point it out, but that's fine. Let's go to Jeopardy.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Real quick, one other thing. I do want to say to Element. I was never big into elements. I hadn't got that far into the hobby, but I got into Element about, I don't know, 3 months ago. Got my first one, and I am currently building my fifth right now. Very
They're
impressed
like-
with Element.
That's
They're
awesome.
like rabbits.
All right, let's go into this or that, Mike. Let's go. Let's make it happen.
Whoa. What
He
happened
froze.
there?
There he
Whoa.
is.
Okay, that was weird. Okay, we're good. We're all good, right? Sound check.
Yep.
We had a little glitch. A little glitch in the matrix. I was just gonna simply say, like, when you go back to the gatekeeper, and you start running through all the different element platforms. It's one brand that you can get locked into, and I'm sure we can debate this with other brands. You can do the same thing, but I love how they continue to bring different a truck for every. My wife will come out and see them and say it's all the same truck, but they're not. Like everything about them. We're splitting hairs with the Bushido. It's a different color body. I get that, but the short wheelbase is a different platform. Period. Like they did a great job with the Bushido. The U-Tron. They continue. You're saying they're going places and they're doing big things, and that is a fact.
Yeah, the U-Tron that's man, from the IFS 1 to the IFS 2 and the U-Tron, it's just like night and day, and it doesn't so not fluid, it functions so well.
You don't even realize it has an IFS. It does not act like an IFS.
It does not. And anybody that says that IFS is just like worthless or it's junk or trash, obviously either one can't drive or two they're a company basher or they just
correct. There's no pleasing them. But the U-Tron brought grown men, two 50-year-old men, back to their childhood, and we were literally belly laughing with pure joy.
Oh, lost him again.
He gone.
You guys are going to keep teasing me with this Bushido talk too, aren't you? That's killing me.
Well, while he's gone.
No, I'm here, right? Hello?
Yep, you're back now.
You're not
okay.
Here.
I don't know why it's glitching like that. It's scaring the living daylights out of me. I don't know why it does that. Hang on 1 second. Let me just check one thing real quick. Don't go anywhere.
Since I have somebody element in the room, I do have a question. And it's that we noticed while we were working on two trucks between the U-Tron and something like the Night Runner. Okay, with the new axles and all the changes that have been made since this generation to the new, is the direction of drive different in the new set of axles, transmission, and IFS compared to something like the Trail Runner? Because when we looked at one set of axles to this, they seem to be on the opposite side. So something like this truck where it's on the left side, it's probably on.
I'm gonna look at my TV because you're bigger up there. So hold on.
Yep, where the diff is centered on the left side.
Yeah.
Okay.
The SE and the U-Tron, I believe, is on the right side, and I was just wondering if that was a.
Actually, I can.
Yeah, but compared to what? Like it's the same as my axial side. It's they
He's
axial and
if the direction between the two trucks has been reversed, and I would love to be able to answer that, but
I thought you were asking the placement of it. You're saying, okay.
I just don't think so, but I'm not 100. For upgrading purposes, it should all interchange.
Okay.
Everything should interchange. I do know that part. Like the IFS, it's a direct fitment to like the original Night Runner.
Yep.
So if you wanted to take IFS 2 and put it on the original, the OG and take that off, it's a complete 100% direct replacement.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a unbolt and bolt back up. So I do know that. As far as the axles, it's just kind of a new design, like kind of a stronger housing, and that's all the same too. That's all 100% interchangeable.
Okay.
So it should be the same direction.
Okay. Thank you. I just had a question because when I was talking to my buddy, we had different answers for the same question, and I was like, nah, I don't have one here to look at, and I figured I had you on the show. Why not ask you?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, no, everything should be like 100% interchangeable, so there should be no different direction.
Okay.
So I actually haven't ran into that, so I'm going to say that it's the same.
Perfect, because I want to put with this element the Night
Runner.
The gatekeeper. suspension in the rear with the trailing arms, and I want to put the IFS2 in the front.
That should all just switch over, just take bolts out, switch over, and put new bolts in.
And I think you'll love the new IFS. And that, I'm telling you, the U-Tron changed and brought us back to our childhood. Nothing about that U-Tron performed like an IFS truck. It just kept going and going and going.
Yep.
All right. Jeopardy music is queued up. I did see a comment here. I know, Bobby, you keep looking over your shoulder and you're keeping an eye on these questions. USDE did have a great remark. Go ahead.
I've had to chuckle at a couple of them. There's if you've been in the industry, in the hobby long enough, you see the comments from USDE. And it's
the zingers.
Funny.
Shots are fired. Yeah. Shots fired.
Funny.
Rob's giddy tonight, and he did make a comment here, and I think, Craig, you would appreciate their comment. He did make reference to FMS and their hard body, and it is a nod back to FMS for continuing to bring us 10-scale trucks with hard bodies. I know Boom Racing did their option, RC 4-wheel drive has their version. There's a few out there that do it, but I think the hard body is definitely one of those things that gets the Dollhouse guys more excited every time, right? I know Fishing Bill's cringing. Don't knock the Lexan. I get it. There's a time and a place for everything, but more hard bodies.
I love Lexan. I am a huge Lexan fan. I've got hard bodies and stuff. Like, I've got some original hard body stuff. Man, I love Lexan. It's just so easy to work with.
We'll come back full circle. I love Lexan with a Knights package. Like,
yes,
that's how I love my Lexan, with a little 3D married coupled into it.
I'm right in the middle. I think I have fallen in love with hard body a little bit more, just because I realized that that's what I'm more talented with in painting and patina and working with, because before I do what I do now, I was a mechanic. I worked with paint, I worked with body work, everything. Start to finish, I worked on a car. That's actually where our name originated from, with Size Matters. And John, my other half, he is more talented with Lexan. So I'm like kind of in the middle, because I'm good with hard bodies, he's good with Lexan, and we kind of meet in the middle somewhere where we have a good collection of both at this point.
I really think the simple answer always comes back when you say in the middle. It depends on the build, period. It depends the rig. It's a tough one to answer.
There's also a big performance difference. I don't care what anybody says. You'll never get a hard body to perform like a Lexan.
I agree.
The weight difference is
correct.
I don't care what you say. People be like, "Oh, my hard body is great. It's class 1. It'll destroy a Lexan."
No.
Okay, you take your same exact truck, you put a Lexan body on it, it's gonna perform better. I don't care what you say. It's lighter up top. It's gonna stick down low way better. You're gonna pull lines never pulled before with that same exact truck with a Lexan body on it.
I totally agree.
I think love the way a hard body looks.
Absolutely.
That's my opinion.
Craig, we're going to take that as a segue. We have a Lexan and a hard body question here on this and that. So let's take that as a segue. Play. We're going to set some Jeopardy music in the background. Now, some of these questions might be a repeat, but you are right. I do have a couple of new ones loaded up here for you, Bobby. So we'll go rapid fire. The game is called this and that. Paintball or laser tag?
Paintball.
Would you rather call or text?
Text.
Would you rather go 10 years in the past or 10 years in the future?
Hey, there's that 10 years in the past thing.
So we're past?
Yeah.
All right. Would you rather be the smartest person in the world or the greatest athlete in the world?
Oh man. Probably athlete.
Oh, wow.
Too much
We
responsibility if you're the smartest.
Okay, all right. I'm going to wait for... I'm getting that AI chip put in me. That's what I'm waiting for. Cyborg. Would you rather know every language or be able to play every instrument?
Probably instrument.
Set the table or clean up the dishes?
I'd do the dishes.
Do you like Christmas or Halloween?
Halloween.
Would you rather design a toy or direct a movie?
Probably design a toy.
Go fast or go big?
Both?
Nice. I like it. For your painters, would you rather rattle can or airbrush?
Big rattle can guy. Never got into airbrushing.
All right.
Attaboy.
Ferrari or Lambo?
I mean, if you give me those two, probably Lambo.
All right. Would you rather go to a bar or go to church?
I remember this question. I have a bar in my house, so I'll go there.
I told you, there's a few repeats weaved in here. This is where we're going back to the repeat section now. Pizza or Chinese food?
Chinese food.
PlayStation or Xbox?
Xbox.
Slot machine or blackjack?
Blackjack.
Medical use or recreational?
This was that one question. I'm to each their own. If you want to do it, go ahead. Medical, recreational, no sweat off my back. I don't partake, so...
You pass on the safety meetings. All right, you hear that, Nick Barber? Don't feed him the...
I have too many certifications that I have to pass in order to not be able to do that stuff, so...
Roger that. There's a few in the room that would say that. All right. Burger or hot dog?
Burger.
Jeep or truck?
Truck. Obviously. For those
yes.
At the beginning.
For those that didn't hear in the beginning, because we were still in the green room and we did not go live, we have to congratulate you on the purchase of a new truck. And that is exciting. The cat is out of the bag. I'll let you do your big reveal. You got to get your Facebook post out there. It's your moment to shine. It's a big deal, bro. Like, enjoy it. It's a beast. It's sexy. I like it a lot. I'm super jelly. I hate that fragrance on me. I don't like to get jealous often, but yeah, I'm. You know what? It's not. I'm happy for you. I'm going to word it that way. Very, very, very happy for you. Good for you. Chicken or tuna?
Chicken.
Snow or mud?
Mud.
Would you rather win the lottery or meet your soulmate? I think you answered this one once before.
Yep.
I already met my soulmate.
I answered soulmate, and then my wife was like, well, technically you found your soulmate, so why wouldn't you want to win the lottery? And I'm like, because the soulmate? I'm like, that's a loaded question.
It's a Hallmark card for you guys that are married. I'm teeing it up. I already met my soulmate, so I want to win the lottery now. But me, just send me the money. Show me the money. My wife is going to kill me when I go inside.
Mine's still
the night is still young. KFC or Taco Bell?
KFC.
Oh.
Action movie or comedy?
Comedy.
Are you a cat or a dog guy?
I'm a dog person.
Amazon or eBay?
Amazon. Just eBay has gone to the wayside, in my opinion.
I don't use it like I used to. Amazon,
Yeah.
man, it's some of this next day shipping crap spoiled everyone.
Next day,
Or the same day, even.
Dude,
Same day,
Stuff
I
is
got-
crazy.
something the other day, I got it 4 hours later, bro.
unbelievable. That
I
is
have
ridiculous.
an Amazon hub about 15 minutes from my house.
Yep.
They've
Wow.
got 2 warehouses. The one side of it's almost 2.1 million square feet, and the other side's like 1.4 million square feet. Like
Holy crap.
It's humongous.
And
It's like the size of Mike's house.
No, not. But I'm waiting for these days with the drones to start delivering this crap. We got to be close, right? Because I just saw Walmart was plugging something with the wing, and these drones are like bringing your medication and
you're not gonna,
everything you need.
You're
not gonna see it here. All right, I don't know.
I don't know. I know it's all coming. I mean, I'm a drone pilot. My company does drone survey stuff, so I do that as well.
Oh,
But,
no
man,
kidding.
It's I think
We're
we're
gonna come
we're
back
away,
to that.
a little bit away from that yet.
Okay. Your clock is ticking. I'm coming back to the drone. All right. Guacamole or salsa?
Salsa,
Are you a country or a city boy?
country,
Would you rather drive or ride shotgun?
drive.
Facebook or Instagram?
Facebook, just because I've been on it for a long time. I mean, we
Fair
really
enough.
want to get into it. MySpace.
My MySpace account. Oh my god.
my first message to my wife was on MySpace.
Nice.
Tom is still my only friend.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. All right, heavy metal or country music?
I like both.
Hunt or fish?
Fish,
Samsung or iPhone?
iPhone,
College football or NFL?
college football,
Wrestling or MMA?
it's kind of changed. I liked wrestling back in the day, but now I'm more of a fan of MMA.
Really? All right. I'm not a fan of these real punches. Like I still like the soap opera story behind all the wrestling, and I still get into that. But these guys beat the living snot out of each other. It looks like it
They
hurts.
absolutely do.
Mike,
It is awesome.
Mike is a true nerd at heart.
They punch way too hard in that MMA.
Explains the whole alien thing too.
Okay, all right. UFO or Bigfoot?
UFO,
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
smooth if I have to eat it.
That boy.
Air guitar or air drums?
Air drums,
Wine or beer?
beer,
Tattoos or piercings?
tattoos.
The Simpsons or Rick and Morty?
Well, this will probably make some people upset, but I've only seen like 4 Rick and Morty episodes. So
No kidding. Okay.
I'm a big fan of this. I grew up with
Simpsons.
The Simpsons, so
Right? 20 years strong. They're still going.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
and I'll see these things on TikTok pop up. Like the Simpsons got it right 10 years ago with some of this crap.
I know.
It's
That is kinda wild.
ridiculous.
yeah.
I'm telling you, a double back flip or a front flip?
Probably front flip.
Nice. Good choice. Crotch rocket or a Harley?
Not a Harley, but a cruiser of sorts.
Oh, you're with like a cafe style?
Yeah, something like that.
All right, we'll take it. Surfing or skateboard?
Surfing, I guess.
Wow. Fridays or Mondays?
Fridays. Absolutely Fridays.
East Coast or West Coast?
East Coast. East Coast, Beast Coast.
Would you
Mid-coast.
rather throw the first punch or turn the other cheek?
That's a situational thing, I think, but
All
turn the other
right.
cheek.
Good man. That's why you were sitting front and center for that answer, my friend. All right. Let me close out our Jeopardy music. You survived. You win. You win.
I just want to say, from your answers, I would say with 96% of them, I agree. There's a couple in there, I don't know about you. But I think we need to meet up in person because I think we would get along just fine.
Perfect.
I agree.
And Craig, and that's exactly why we do this and that. It's trying to take Bobby's half-ass attempt at an introduction, trying to tell the world who he is.
Yeah.
I'm just a regular Joe Schmo. You know, now we're getting a little deeper into what makes Bobby tick. Like,
Now-
that is why we're doing. We're trying to crack the shell a little and see inside what makes Bobby tick.
I
I'm
did.
just a blue-collar guy that likes chicken and Pepsi. I mean,
I did. While the,
I was right there with you, Craig. The same thing until he answered iPhone, and then I lost all interest.
I had a Samsung for a very long time. and
You're the
then
only
I
one
met
in
my
here
wife.
still stuck in like the caveman times.
I just made a switch to the MacBook too. I am all Apple now.
See, I did
My-
come up with a question of my own that I want to ask, if that's okay. Good.
Please.
My other half is in here, so I don't have to feel awkward about asking it. So, I want to know
Pitch or catch?
Crocs or like flip-flop sandal slides.
Flip-flops.
Thank you.
Flip.
His Crocs
Okay.
is the first thing to ever happen to men, and I swear I'm kicking him out of my house if he ever comes here. I swear I'm kicking him out of the house.
But
Yeah,
they're
flip-flop.
pushing the crap out of the Croc world right now. I just seen like
Never.
they make like off-road Crocs now. They're
Never.
like
No.
hiking Crocs.
No.
They make like boots now.
Yes, yes.
No,
You will
just
never-
no.
You will catch me dead in a pair of those. Nope.
You won't even catch me then.
No.
You know, Craig, you really protest those very adamantly. I'm going to go on a limb, and I'm going to say you have a set in the closet somewhere.
No.
Hey,
No.
Bill, show us your feet.
Oh, you got to see these. They're not Crocs. These
All
are
right.
studs and slippers.
They're crocky. They're very crocky.
Crocs. They're moccasins.
He said they're crocky.
They're my garage shoes. If I put these shoes on, the dog knows I'm going to the garage.
He's like Mr. Rogers. He's got garage shoes. Okay.
He's got Mr. Rogers shoes.
He's coming
Keep
in.
it up, I'm going to break my sweater out.
I might yes, if you take a sweater out. It's not.
If you start,
You know what, Mike? We have to do a show that we start off like Mr. Rogers. I'll walk into the garage, take my
Behind
sweater
the
off,
scenes. Yep.
change my shoes.
I want to see the ritual behind the scenes of Bill coming out to the garage, changing
You're
his
just
outfit.
Be lucky I got pants on.
my wife
that
asked
kind
me,
of
she's
party.
like, what do you like? What's the attire? I'm like, I'm just gonna wear an Element shirt and probably a Reedy hat or something like that. She's like, well, what about pants? I'm like, that's like business work. You just wear a suit and tie and be everywhere.
Who's all in their boxers right now? Everybody show their waist.
I got an Element shirt on and a Speedo. We're ready to go.
Yep, we're ready to party.
If I had a Speedo on, you would be able to tell.
I got my G-Speed thong on.
The Dan Davison special.
It's the,
Easy with the 80 grit.
the The good old
I
moose.
love Dan,
Oh.
man.
Oh, bring in the 80 grit here. Dan can serve it. That's for damn sure. That man's been around.
Yeah.
Him,
I love that
Kirby.
guy, man. He's awesome.
We
Guys, they keep it real.
that was a hell of a conversation that just happened.
Yeah, it was. Hey, listen, that's a great this and that question. I did have that over here at one point, Craig. The Crocs was floating around in my early beta days when I was looking for. I like it that way. Worded Crocs or flip flops. You can leave it out there.
I think.
I mean, if I'm throwing in surfing or skateboarding, I can easily throw in Crocs or flip flops.
And I'm pretty sure from both questions you can get the same person.
I think you're going to get an answer. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody's going to say something. There is a lot of Croc guys in this RC world, though. I've met a lot of people out there with Crocs.
It's not okay. It should stop. You should all stop.
Agreed. Doesn't matter if you haven't been four-wheel driving. You should stop.
Yeah. It's one of those things that it happened, and we should just leave it in the past.
I love it.
You should all set them on fire and bury them in the backyard.
Craig's next sticker sheet, Crocs with the circle and the line through it.
Yep.
That's
Yep,
it.
there we
Say no. Just say no.
Say no to Crocs.
So, Bobby, on your daily work, on the grind, Monday through Friday, what do you do?
Well, I work for a surveying and mapping company, but the division I work in is the subterranean utility exploration, which is just a sophisticated way of saying I dig holes.
English,
to locate utilities. Yeah, I dig holes to locate underground utilities for like future developments, or if they're you need to connect a water line to an existing water line, they need to know the size, the type, the depth. So that's basically what I do. I locate underground utilities. That's the main thing.
With a drone?
Well, no, the drone thing is another
side of it.
Another aspect of our company.
Well, these drones have gotten crazy now with their LiDAR. Like, they can do mapping, and I seen one on Skinwalker Ranch. It was real live, like real-time LiDAR. Like, so it didn't take time to go back and process and generate and, have to go and load it all. Like, it was real-time mapping. Like, that's crazy.
I mean, that's basically, we have a triad drone, and it's I want to say it's like $150,000 or $180,000 drone.
Okay.
And it's
wow,
got all the LiDAR scan stuff to it and all that and whatnot.
Okay.
And we also have like the one that I fly, because I'm not quite there yet on the triad. Yep. They've got, I guess I'll say, tiers. Like, you have to obviously take your test, pass it, and then prove you can do a job, and then prove that you can do so many of them without having any mistakes or issues and whatnot, or bad data. And then you can move up into the drone world. Hold on, I gotta plug my phone in. Give me a second.
All right. Well, drone pilots crack me up. Drone pilots think that they're actually flying, because these things freaking fly themselves. Who are you kidding?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's insane. The test is leaps and bounds more difficult than the actual flying.
Okay.
And especially with the programs that we have, you basically set up your job, what you got, you set your points out that it needs to fly over, so it has the elevations and whatnot. So you have to know survey as well. So you set your points around your job location, and then you basically map out your course on your program, and then you basically just hit the button, and the drone goes up.
And
you keep your hands on your the controller at all times, just in case something happens. If you're flying in a restricted area, you got to watch out for the aircraft. So if there's an aircraft coming in or whatnot, you have to take over control. You have to know how to fly it. So, I mean, there is that aspect. But yeah, as far as
make it look like you're working.
Yeah. But as far as going up and just flying it, I mean, the program basically does it itself. So it's super easy.
That's crazy.
But it's one of those things, like, it's super expensive if you make a mistake. So I mean, you still have the ability. You still have to be able to fly the drone. you still have to be able to take control in case something happens. So you have to have the know-how and the common sense of knowing what to do in the situation. So you have to be, you have to keep your head on the swivel. And we have co-pilots and stuff that basically sit there, and all their job is to do is monitor the drone and then, the surroundings. So
I have the Traxxas Aton, if I'll date this, and it has the gimbal on it, and this thing it does what I need it to do. I got to fly a DJI, some little DJI thing. Like, this thing was ridiculous, and it had the camera built into the controller. So Paul, remember Paul from Proline, Paul Wilhite? He puts his controller in my hand, right? And he's like, send it out. Like, so I'm going up. Like, I'm up 150 feet in the air and barely see it. It's like a speck. He's like, no, take it up. And I'm like, how much higher? He's like, go. Like, it'll tell you when it can't go any higher. And you can't even see it. He's like, now take it out. And I'm like, bro, I don't even know where this thing is anywhere. He's like, well, look on the controller. And I'm like, I am literally flying. Like, it's kind of creepy. I could sit at my house. This is a new wave of peeping Tom. Like, I could buzz around my neighborhood and look in people's windows. Like, no wonder I know friends that are geeking out. Like, oh, I think the government's spying on me. I hear drones. I used to think that they're crazy, but now I'm starting to think maybe they were onto something. These drones can come in from anywhere. Like, they fly distances.
Yeah. Now the government has gotten more involved with the FAA and stuff, and now starting September, your drone has to have a remote ID that transmits a signal that,
like a transponder
that lets that basically lets you
like
know
an
where
airplane.
the drone is. Yeah, it's 100% like an airplane.
Wow.
Now, the laws and the regulations are, in my opinion, a little ridiculous. But I think because of that,
it's over.
So, Craig,
do you? Is, but I understand it because of what he said. So if you've got a drone flying, and basically, if you're flying a DJI, it has a program built into it that basically lets you know where the restrictions are, the fly zones, the no-fly zones, stuff like that, and it won't allow you to fly. Like I'm sure you can override it, but I don't think it's very easy to do.
But it's putting these safety checks in there for a reason.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Craig, do you use a drone in your job at all?
I was actually going to get into that because we've been a little bit more open, and I'm just going to come out and tell everybody. So what I do for a job is I'm a police officer. We didn't share that information for a while because of, the climate. And it doesn't matter whether you're a good police officer or not. People hated you.
Yeah.
Especially when we started this hobby, we just didn't want to tell anybody. And John is my right-hand man every single day. He is my rock, man. Dude, he's taking care of me. And
you guys hobby life together, and then you work together. Yeah, I mean, you two are literally attached at the hip. You guys have a great story.
You guys make such a cute couple.
But to the drone story, I don't use them at work, but our traffic division does, and they can, when they are doing accident investigations, whether it is a fatal or serious crime occurred with a motor vehicle and they have to reconstruct the scene. A lot of that's being done with drones now. The technology is just, it surpasses what we can do as human beings with our hands and on our feet. It is unbelievable. I got to see a reconstruction done with the drone, and you wouldn't know you were looking at something that was done with 800,000 pictures taken, because it takes a ton of pictures and builds the scene around those pictures. You would never know. It was like you could look in the car. You could see what was in the cup holder in the car at the time of the accident. Like, unbelievably detailed. And it's really cool to see the hobby at work, because the RC hobby is not just, nerds like us hanging out tonight and talking RC trucks. Like, no, the hobby goes a lot further than that. And guys at work that are the RC, the drone pilots, it's like, no, you're a nerd too. You're one of us. You don't realize,
Yeah.
but you're one of us. Like, you nerd out on this stuff. You're using the drone. You know everything about the drone. You know the technology. You know how to use it. It's the same thing with the trucks behind me, and it's just a little bit more technology and a little bit more complicated, but it's making its way into everyday life. I do not like that the government is trying to track all this, but at the same time, using it for nefarious purposes, you should be tracked.
Right.
And for, if you're using it to be a peeping Tom, it's really good to know, like, who owns that, where it's coming from, what it was. So it's a catch-22. It really
And
is.
you can see that. There's a website, right, that you can log on. You can see what every airplane that's in the air at any time of the day. And because I've learned this all on Skinwalker Ranch. TV is very educational, people. You learn a lot from watching TV. And they can... Certain TV. The TV I watch. UFOs, people. You pay attention. You learn a lot. On Skinwalker Ranch, they talk about these transponders. The plane needs to be sending that signal. So it makes sense. You want to know what's up in the air, and I like what you're saying, Craig. Yeah, for the peeping Tom, you want to know that somebody's not buzzing around. You're, looking in your window. I get it. I don't think that the government's probably tracking for nasty reasons. I hope not. I'm hoping it's for some sort of safety. But are you talking over a drone, all drones, or like over a certain weight, size? Like, is there a time and a place when you would need to have a license?
Well, commercially, if you're gonna fly a drone commercially for a company or something like that, you have to have your license. Like, no shot about it. You have to be licensed.
But not the transponder yet that you're talking about, correct?
No, yeah, that's if commercially. Starting, I want to say it's September 1st. Your drone has to have remote ID.
Okay.
Which it transmits the GPS location of your drone and the pilot. So,
and it's one of those things.
I was going to say, Craig, the other educational TV I watch is Cops on Reels. Every Friday and Saturday night they go live right along with these police officers, and every Friday and Saturday night at least once they reach into the back of the big SUV and they bust out a drone, and they're using this in their police work. They're surveying, like, if there's a hostage situation or some guy barricaded, like, they're literally buzzing around and somebody runs into the woods. They used to be able to send a dog. Now they can put the drone up, and
there's drones, there's robots, there's little balls with cameras. I mean,
it's so cool. I figured it had to be a part of your work, your daily life now.
But I mean, that is not everyday life.
Okay.
I'm maybe in certain cities it is. We work in a pretty busy town. And that's just, it's not everyday life. What you see on Cops is it's
picked and chosen.
Yeah, correct. Those guys are bouncing from city to city looking for the action. I get it. Some of those towns at night are not going to.
Not that we don't get those types of
days.
Calls, because we absolutely do. But that is not everyday life. That is not society as a whole. Not even.
Thank goodness. That's not a bad thing. Thank freaking goodness.
I will say it is getting worse. So,
and thank you for what you do, Craig. I tell you every time I speak to you, get out there, save the world, and do what you do. But I think of you every day, and every time you pull someone over, you are, how dangerous it can be. You never know every situation. So what you do is very important, and I thank you. Period.
Brother, I appreciate it. Said. I hope everybody understands. We don't really tell a lot of people what we do, but I think we've given enough leaks over the course of the last 2 to 3 years that everybody's pretty much figured it out or knows by now.
The ones that
And
matter,
it is what
and
what you know.
yeah.
If you got a problem with it, oh well, sorry.
But I respect why you keep things private. You change your spelling of your name and keep things private for a reason. You don't need the drama.
Right.
So I understand the secrecy, period, and respect it.
On that, what you said there's, if you have a problem with it, it's one of those things like I seen a quote a little bit ago, which actually was great. It was like, if you have a problem with me, text me. And if you don't have my number, you don't know me well enough to have a problem with me.
Yep.
I love it.
That.
And,
I like that.
I love it.
And Mike can attest to this. And this goes perfect to the hobby and the drama that we were talking about in the beginning of the show. A text is great, but a phone call goes a long way. If you have an issue and you call me and you have a one-on-one, or if we live close enough and we can meet face to face and we have a conversation one-on-one, that to me goes a lot farther. I like to hit issues right on the head. If I feel there's something going on, or if I feel like there's something that we need to talk about, I'm going to call you and I'm going to figure out what's going on and figure out how to squash it, because we all don't have time for drama in our lives. We all have families. This is a hobby. Enjoy it. There's drama, figure it out. And if not, I don't care.
But it's important to talk it out, and so much gets lost in a translation of a text, and you can't read the context. I cringe every time my 16-year-old or 17-year-old daughter is battling with these kids in school. They're texting everything, and I'm like constantly slapping her hand, like, stop freaking texting. Do you realize you are making this worse with these long-winded, emotional texts? I'm like, the second you hit send, that's out there forever, and that emotion that you had can change 5 minutes from now, but it's there.
You can't.
I said type it, just don't send it.
You can't read emotion through a text either. You can
correct
in one way and mean it in one way, and the person that is reading it takes it in a totally different way. And that's
blown out proportion.
I prefer if you perceive something in some way, call me. Just if you got my number, call me. If you don't have my number, hit me up on Instagram and be like, hey, we need to talk. All right, fine. I'll send you my phone number. Call me. We'll talk.
Facebook Messenger now has the ability to video chat and audio call. So I mean,
yes.
Just there's so many issues that could be avoided and it's over nonsense.
I agree.
That just
well said.
Be a man or be a woman, whatever you are. Just
be
pick up the phone and just hit it head on. Don't be scared don't be scared of confrontation, because everybody's going to have confrontation in life. And if you're scared of it and you let it fester and you let it build, it's only going to make it worse and it's going to spread.
I agree.
That's how we get drama in this hobby that is just unnecessary.
Yes, sir. All right, boys, we did the endurance show tonight. Holy crap. We went out. Yeah, I think we have like one person left. I think we talked them all to death. We did our job. We did well.
That's fine. I'm having a good time, so.
That we did well. Bobby, there was a reason we had you on tonight, and it was really great to get to know you a lot better. What a great guy. Keep doing what you do, Bobby, and do not change a gosh darn thing. Period. Just keep doing what you do. Enjoy it. Have fun. And hopefully, we get out there and our paths will cross soon. It probably won't be now till 2025. Thank you, Rob Matthews, for making us wait.
Damn it, Rob.
Damn it, Rob. But unless go ahead.
There's still Rocktober and Beat the Creek.
Oh yeah. Well, Bobby, are you heading that direction at all?
Beat the Creek next year. I've actually talked to a couple people here that
make that
shown
trip.
some interest, And now that I have
Perfect.
a truck that I can literally throw all
Right?
the camping stuff in.
That you can come up and show off. Yes.
Let's put this into perspective real quick. I bought a truck in 2020, and then, you know, they were like, hey, we'll give you more than you paid for it. So I traded it in. I'm like, this is a great deal. So I used to work at a Cadillac dealership. I used to own a Cadillac. So you know what? I'm going to get another Cadillac because I think they're nice. So I bought a Cadillac, and then like 3 months down the road, it's like, man, sure wish I had that truck because I've got a Tupperware container for a trunk. And then, you know, that I was like, all right, well, you know, we're building, you know, what we want to do, how, you know, kind of planning out the next 5, 7, 8 years and whatnot. So we're like, all right, well, you know, we'll plan, we'll pay, you know, and do whatnot. And then I seen a deal come up this weekend, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go look at this. So we went to the dealership to trade. You know, I was going to trade in my car because we need a truck. Went to the dealership to look for a truck. Wasn't on the lot. Nobody could tell me where the truck was. So we're like, all right. So we left the dealership, went to the Dodge dealership. The truck that I was looking for at the other dealership is at that dealership getting worked on. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go look at the new ones. And then here we are. So I went from a little sardine can of a CTS to
This
basically
beast.
a monster truck.
Yeah.
But man, it's so nice. But yeah,
Well,
Beat the
perfect
Creek is
truck to take to
definitely
Beat the Creek.
Yeah, Beat the Creek is definitely on the radar. I've got a couple people that were interested. So
Outstanding.
that'll probably be penciled into the books.
Nice.
Perfect. And that's what it takes. I know we're spread out around the country. Facebook and Instagram brings us all a little bit closer. We're not going to do this at my Thanksgiving dinner table. I'll tell you that. Nobody wants to talk RC like this. So I love it that we can connect and find a bunch of like-minded people to come together, hang out for a little bit. So I do hope that we get a chance to wheel together sooner than later. We don't have to wait till 2025. But Bobby, thank you for your support on the show. Thank you for what you're doing for the hobby. I'm going to fade you out of here, sir. Thank you again. You've been a great sport. Everybody, find Bobby Mack on Facebook and Instagram. What is your Instagram on the real Mack or Mack Attack?
The Instagram is FSTR Mack.
Faster Mack.
Yep.
FSTR.
Throwing it back to the old school days with Florida Scale Trail Runners. So.
Oh my. Okay, really balling.
All right. The original Florida group.
Wow. Okay. There you got it, people. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram, and it is a page you want to follow because he's usually got the latest and the greatest coming from most of these brands out there. So he is an influencer doing it right, and make sure you go and follow along with what is happening in the world of Bobby Mack. So thank you, sir. I'm going to feed you out.
Thank y'all.
Oh. All right. Mr. Size Matters, how are you? Great show, Craig. I can't thank you enough, boss. Let's get rid of Fishing Bill here. I'm going to put him front and center. Boom. Billy, what'd you get done?
I got a tape ready to shoot.
Ready to shoot. All right. Bill, you've got one of the greatest backdrops on the planet. You've got one of the sickest garages any man on this planet would envy. Keep doing what you're doing, Bill. Man, oh man.
Sir.
I love the smile on your face every time. You are just doing this with passion and joy, and that's what we love to support.
That's what it's about, boys. And I have Blackberry LA just to rub it in Craig's face.
Oh, I want that. That looks good. Is that alcohol based or?
No, it's ALA. It's a Kentucky drink.
Cola.
And they came out with a blackberry flavor. Oh, it's so good.
Yum. I want.
No, Mike, you have no idea. Ale8.
Is it like an A-Treat kind of brand, like a local thing?
Yeah, it's just really here in Kentucky. It's made down in Richmond.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a, what would you call it? I guess the original is like a ginger base, almost like a ginger ale, but a little different. But this is blackberry flavored, and it is screaming to put some rum in it. I'm just saying.
Sign me up.
Ale 8 is like Sprite and ginger ale had a baby. And I did find it. I've had it since I was in Kentucky. A spot in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania when I went camping.
Get out.
They
No,
Had it.
and I bought it. So
Holy crap. Okay.
well, see, I was going to smuggle some in that body when I send it back to you.
Nice. Like, who are you? A Duke boy? You think
I'm gonna have to send you like 4 bodies then, because I
damn.
All right, boys.
Bill,
Well, I appreciate you having me on.
Hey, it was great checking in with you. We always like seeing what you're doing. You keep improving everybody. You keep getting better and better, and we love watching you enjoy what you do so much. So always a pleasure to check in with the garage of Fishing Bill. Thank you, sir.
Gentlemen,
We'll
have a
see
good
you
weekend.
again. We'll see
Later.
him again. Dude, I love checking in with him on a daily, on a weekly, seeing what he's up to. Fishing Bill, what a great guy.
He really is. And he's a huge supporter of our show.
Absolutely.
And he does great work, and just one of those people in the community that you can always count on. Does a lot for the community. And he's just one of those people that we love to support. If you're supporting the RC community and you're a voice for the community, we got your back, man. It's great to see what he's doing.
Absolutely. Well, Craig, we did it, buddy. We did it. We did the endurance run. Holy crap. 2 hours and 15 minutes later, bud.
Yeah,
We
man.
did it. We put full marathon show.
That's it.
Listen, the co-pilot seat is open for you and John anytime. We would love to have you back. It was a lot of fun. Somebody with your confidence on the screen, well educated, thought out questions. You do a great job. You are a great host. You can see him on Monday night on Instagram. Monday Night Mashup is the show. What's neat about what you guys are doing is you leave that roulette wheel open, that you let people jump in if somebody's got something that they're talking about, what's hot, what's not. Come in, jump in, talk, hang out, and I like that kind of atmosphere. It's exciting.
Yeah, Monday Night Mashup. If you don't mind me giving a shameless plug here, Monday night on Instagram, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the point of the show is just like what we're doing here, except it's open to anybody. Anybody can join. It is an open format. You just send a request to join during the show. We click on your request, we let you in, and we will talk about anything RC. I don't care.
Perfect.
We will talk about it. And it doesn't have to be brand specific. I don't care if we have sponsors for the show. It does not have to be about one of our sponsors. It could be a competitive brand. I don't care. It's all about building the community and supporting small business. And just really getting people to network and really introduce people to each other. And I wish Fishing Bill was in here right now, because I know Fishing Bill's met a couple of people that he may have not met if it wasn't for a Monday Night Mashup. So I really love what our show stands for and what we're trying to push. And we're growing, and I really, really hope to see some of you that are watching this over on Monday Night Mashup. These shows together. Mike, you are a sponsor of Monday Night Mashup with Carryall.
Absolutely, 100%.
And it's just, man, the community needs.
Well, we keep
people, man.
wind in your sails while you're keeping wind in our sails, and that's what it's about. Cheering each other on and helping. There has to be a reason why we do it, and it feels good when somebody's in your corner telling you to keep going. Go get them, Tiger. And absolutely, Carryall. Myself personally, we have your back. We're cheering you on.
Our daily text messages, just somebody to push you, and it doesn't have to be every day. But
Get out there and go.
It's nice to get a message from somebody, or even, we say it all the time, a like, a share, a comment. It goes a long way. Maybe that person's having a bad day and your comment is enough to lift them up.
Absolutely.
People put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into creating content and to try to grow themselves, grow their brand, and grow their voice in the community. And they don't grow unless we acknowledge them. So acknowledgement goes a long way. So if you're watching this, please, I'm not saying to go like and share and comment on our stuff. Just any randomly. If you
How many times have we pushed each other to go out and do 50 likes a day? Just push it. It should be like a ritual when you wake up.
Yep.
You feel good, they feel good, and that's all you're trying to do is make somebody feel good today.
That's it. That's it, man. Just go out and support everybody you can. And a like, a share, a comment goes a long way. And support the little guy, man, because the little guy endure.
I agree. Well, Craig, like I said, you and John are welcome back anytime. It's always fun. It's always great to see what you guys are doing. We can always keep in touch, obviously. People follow along Monday night mashup. Oh, boy, we got Robert over there chiming in. All right, people, we're going to close this ship out. Let me fade out here like this. Craig, I'm going to get rid of you with a good salute and a goodbye and thank you and a tribute. This is all the love and condolences and everything to your grandmother. Tonight was for her, in memory of her, and I got chills and just, we're here for you, buddy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate it. And you have a great night, brother, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, people, let me close out of here quickly. That screen is not going to work. And nobody wants to see me out here by myself. So let me fade out of here quickly. We're going to go like this. Brand. Boom. I'm going to get rid of the overlay. Boom. Now you got me. Now let's do a closing. Well, thank you. Like, comment, and share. Find the page, subscribe. That's what helps the show. All of your comments help. Like, let us know what we're doing right. Let us know what we're doing wrong. That's what we need you to do. Your feedback provides better customer service for the next flight. When we are wheels up, we need to know what we're doing right and what we're doing wrong. So please, like, comment, share. It helps. I'm going to give you a farewell with close out with our sponsor,